this. So just to leave you with the fact that the act's power finally has a transformative effect on their lives and the lives of others. The solutions possible hai, kuch bhi possible hai. I'll leave it at that.
Thanks, Shanti. Shanti, as you guys know, we have been doing this Purple Fest in Goa, and Shanti has been a very pillar of strength when we started this concept, and she has been with us for a very, very long time now. I'll move on to architect Kavita. We talk about a lot of accessibility in the RPW Act. You have been working in more than 9 cities. What are the roadblocks? I would be more interested in the roadblocks. I know it's happening, but it's happening at a very, very low pace everywhere, and it's been seen, it's visible. It's not happening at the pace that we wanted. The Act says within 5 years we wanted to make the whole country accessible. What is the status now? What are the roadblocks? And what is the way forward to avoid these roadblocks so it is a smooth transition from where we are to achieve what we want to achieve?
Thank you so much for that question and for this opportunity to be here to talk to all of you. Yes, so as in order to implement the RPWD Act 2016, Accessible India campaign was launched, and it was a fantastic idea where 3 pillars of accessibility, built infrastructure, transportation, and ICT were the 3 targets that were given. And to set the ball rolling, the central government also funded the first phase, wherein 50 cities with 50 buildings were identified and accessibility auditors were identified. I was fortunate to be one of them. And the first phase went off, the audits happened, but the implementation was something that was kind of not really so vigilantly, probably. I mean, there was a lot of effort, and there are a lot of cities who have implemented, who did take that effort. Some roadblocks happened, the estimates were not submitted on time, implementation happened only in a piecemeal manner, comprehensive interventions didn't happen, thus whatever money was spent really didn't end up with accessible infrastructure. And apart from that, yes, the focus was more on the built infrastructure, but the ICT and the transportation got left out. And then the second phase was supposed to be taken forward by the states, but the notification of the RPWD Act 2016 was also something that took a lot of time, and I believe there are still few states who have not notified it, and accordingly, the state bylaws, the UDCPR, or the aligning of the bylaws with the harmonized guidelines which have been recently amended has still not happened, and hence we are seeing that the target that was given for 5 years for implementing and retrofitting, as well as aligning, getting into a place some procedures that can stop inaccessible buildings from being built or sanctioned or designed is still a far-fetched dream. I think I've identified a couple of roadblocks, or I would say gaps, that are actually creating the issue. Because there are a lot of hard, humble and honest efforts being put in by every department, but there is certainly something that is not really working as per the expectations. So the first thing I would say is that we need to ascertain where we stand, and for that, data is extremely important. We don't have data related to even disaggregated verticals of disability, so that we can do some evidence-based planning. We are using a very conventional approach, and we're really not looking at our context, what our city, what our state needs. So evidence-based planning is extremely important, and for that, data is extremely important. We need to use technology to build that data, not just in terms of what is the population or the statistics related to disability types, but also to what extent are we having accessible infrastructure, be it public or private. We need to use technology in the form of maybe apps and use crowdsourcing to identify the places which are accessible, the places which are not accessible. That transparency has to be brought in, and this data has to be made public, so that public becomes a part of this movement, and they can contribute and start helping us to identify where are the gaps. Secondly, interdepartmental coordination. I feel, the Disability Commissioner Office, to me, are the eyes to watch to really navigate the implementation of RPWD Act 2016, and to ensure that no one is left behind, leave no one behind is what we are really heading for globally. And this interdepartment, so every department has a mandate. So the Ministry of Urban Development has given the municipal corporations, the road department, the garden department, etc., to implement accessibility. The healthcare department or the social welfare department is working in one. The education ministry is working in one. So I mean, the coordination between all these departments is something that is missing, and hence duplication of work, or there are gaps, and the implementation is not really happening in a very integrated way. And I feel the DC office can certainly be that bridge or that nodal point, proactively bringing all the departments together and creating a master plan for the city. The city needs master plan for implementation of accessibility. Even in terms of the budget utilization, the budget planning and the budget utilization happens in silos. And if the question of having less budget will never occur if all the departments come together, put their funds together, and plan for the city. So that's the second thing that I wanted to point out. The third thing is,
we take the last one.
Yeah, capacity building and awareness. I think it needs a huge kind of effort. I've done national, regional workshops, capacitating engineers, smart city officers. But what I find is, it happens at the top, but it really does not percolate down. The mason who is putting the tactile tiles on the floor needs to be sensitized, needs to be trained, needs to be capacitated to understand what he is doing and how it is going to help the lives of persons with disabilities. So that intent has to be kind of brought down to the people, and for that technical capacity building training programs for all these staff, be the the technical engineering staff or the planning staff, that needs to happen. There are a couple of more points. If there is time, I would like to.
Thanks, Kavita.
Sorry. Yes. Okay. I would definitely want to thank you for saying that. But what we are working under leadership of Kanekar sir is we are creating a model BDRC at Pune. It's going to be one of the largest in the country, 24,000 square feet footprint, making it a one-point stop for all, right from early intervention to diagnosis to therapy to vocational training to counseling, everything under one roof with the state-of-art latest therapies from international case studies, and having all the best practices of accessibility incorporated into it. We are really grateful to the state of Maharashtra and to mentors like Kanekar sir, who have not made budget as the barrier or any kind of technology or any kind of solution that we are proposing is being taken on board. So I think we will be able to put up that in a year's time. Yeah.
Thank you so much. We'll move on to Amar Seva Sangam. They have a very interesting village-based rehabilitation initiative. Amar Seva started its journey in 1980. It's almost more than 40 years. We would like to hear from you, sir, what you have in mind for the plans that you always have in mind, because when I met you in Chennai last time, you said we want to do this, we want to do that in states. So all the state commissioners are here. You can put forth your plan, and the other guys who can take this forward.
Yeah. Thanks, Alaji. Thanks, Mr. Guru Prasadji, for giving us an opportunity. Ramakrishna and me, we both have come here to meet all of you, to share our experiences, so that we can be mutually helping each other. For us, for me in particular, the gateway for a person with disability starts when the child is identified as having a developmental delay or the child is having a disability. I was diagnosed as a person with muscular dystrophy when I was 3 years old in 1962, about 57 years back. I was born in 1962, I was diagnosed in 1965. The 3 years went away because there was no proper identification for muscular dystrophy in those days. But my parents were very resilient, so that they never wanted to lose the time, but they put me into a very stringent course of early intervention, whereby they put me into various sessions for improving my faculties. And today, if I am there in front of you, talking with you all, it is because of the early intervention that my parents have provided. And I wouldn't have been like this. Otherwise, I would have been sitting somewhere in the corner of the room and idling myself. Today, I am a chartered accountant. And with the blessings of God and Almighty, I am also a gold medalist in those days. And today, I was able to convert my abilities to serve persons with disabilities in a large scale along with Mr. Ramakrishnan. And this is what an early intervention can transform a person with a disability. Disability is not really an appropriate term, it is a misnomer. It is only a matter of perception. Navratilova has said that purpose and champion, that disability is a matter of perception. But before that, I was saying that. Fortunately, there was another celebrity who also shared a similar view. And also that we are capable. And disability is only a function of what the environment can offer. And as Rosenbaum, he is a CAN-child founder and a great researcher on children with disabilities. He has said that it is the environmental mismatch with a person's ability to get the potentials of the person, which is called as disability. So it is an environmental function with the person that makes a person whether he is disabled, he or she is disabled or not. So if the environment is congenial, we can perform. I am able to do so much despite my challenging conditions because I have people who are helping me, who are supporting me. And when I was doing my CA, there were facilities offered to me for going for my articles where there was a free, barrier-free environment. I was given assistance like what I am having now by my father to go around for audit places. In Amar Seva Sangam, I am provided with similar facilities, and so we are able to perform. And technology, that makes a huge, huge difference. Today I am able to achieve more than 100% of my potential because I am able to use technology. I am using Android phone for many things, including dictations to voice to text messages. I was able to type myself before, but now my conditions are such that I have to dictate for text. And many things I am able to do with Android phone and my laptop. And this technology has helped me. And technology for wheelchair users, the battery operated wheelchairs, there are so many technologies that are coming around for visually impaired persons and so on. So if the environment supports we people with disabilities can perform and also show to the world that we are a contributory and not a dependent person, we will not be a burden for the society. And towards this, I would say that the early intervention is the gateway. It is the gateway for a person with disability to enter into the life's journey. So this aspect should be fully expressed by the society and the government through their policies. The RPWD Act says under section 26(2) that early screening and identification is very critical and has mandated it as a part of the government's responsibility. Section 27 of the RPD Act says that rehabilitation is a matter of right for a child with a disability, and this has to be done with NGOs. That Section 27 is very clear about that. This is where we come into the picture. We have developed a wonderful technology that is highly impactful, that provides 85% school enrollment at pre-primary level. It is 1/4 the cost of the regular rehabilitation programs, and it is fully community based, and it is totally parents supported initiative. It is a mobile app which is given to the community workers and managed by the rehabilitation professionals through the GPS. It is a real-time process. People can monitor and execute, and the impact in terms of the family is 73% of the family have shown better socioeconomic conditions and 75% reduction in their strain levels. If this technology and the model is taken up by the state governments, by the commissioners like you, it will become a big transformation and an entry-level solution for a child with a disability. And we are willing to give you the technology and the model dedicated to all of you. We don't want to charge anything for you, even though we have incurred heavy investment through funding from international and national agencies. This technology also has won several awards, international and also United Nations. And coming in February also, Chandni knows, we are getting a Zero Project Award. And Tamil Nadu government, if anybody from Bangalore has come here, they know that we are working the same project with Tamil Nadu government, and more than 3,000 children are benefited. And the entire state of Tamil Nadu, we are going to bring this technology and solution in the rehabilitation department and also in education and the health department. So I wish to offer this technology and model to all of you for your update. Okay? We are also very happy to be with you, and we invite all of you to visit Amarjeva Sangam. We have a huge complex. We have more than 16,000 people with disabilities in 3 districts who are catered entirely through technology. Everything is put into the computer and we are able to manage. And we have about 50 acres of land. It is an end-to-end rehabilitation solution for all kinds of disabilities across all age groups. It is a model center. The gentleman from Pune was telling that they are building a center in Pune. We would like to share our experience and knowledge. You can come and visit our place. You can see how we are totally accessible in all aspects. And we will be only too happy to share this with you. Thank you very much, all of you.
Thank you so much, sir. I think the state commissioners can take this forward, the early intervention model in each state, and hopeful that we will start it from Goa soon.
And, one more thing is, I am participating in Mumbai Marathon right from its inception. And way back in 2004, when the first edition was there, I was not allowed because I am on a wheelchair. So I went on to the people to tell about this. Suddenly one media gentleman came and interviewed me. So everything went viral and several media came to interview me. And what happened was the very next year, we were helping them to formulate a championship for disabilities. And today, there are several NGOs within the field of disability sector. More than 2,000 people run in Mumbai Marathon every year. We have replicated this in Chennai Marathon and also in Bangalore and Kerala, along with the program and the United Way and other partners. And we are one of the highest fundraisers, charity fundraisers in the event.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We'll move on to the next. It's almost 1:35 now. Would request the speakers to now limit their time to not more than 3 minutes. The Andaman Nicobar Islands, I would like to know more about how you guys are taking the RPW Act to the primitive tribes. It's easy to work in the cities, easy to work in the villages, but how do you plan, or you have already started working with them?
Good afternoon, everybody over here. It is my great pleasure to share my experience in this Truth's platform. As I told you earlier that I had worked in this field since last more than 31 years back. 31 years. Say about 31 years back, when I was around 25 years old, I joined in a tribal welfare department. I worked with the tribals. I got the opportunity to work with the Ongis, with Andamanese, Shompens, and I had visited the Sentinels also. Thereafter, slowly after working with tribal welfare, I switched over to social welfare department and joined as a probation officer. And since then, I had exposed and I had shared the experience. And as Andaman Nicobar Island, it is a very far-flung area with a peculiar topography. It is comprising of various small islands. And getting into the tribal people, it is very difficult. As you all well know that there are 5 primitive tribes, Ongis, Javas, Sentinels, Shompens. And they are very hostile. But even though the department has able to help the Ongis, the Andamanese, and even the Shompens for providing mobility aids. For example, I want to share with you that we are having Anganwadi centers in the primitive tribal areas such as Andamanese and Ongis. the Anganwadi workers, motivate them, train them to adopt the mobility aids. For example, they are using hearing aids, they are using crutches, even though they are using wheelchairs and day-to-day basis. We are having 720 Anganwadi centers throughout the UT, and in the tribal areas such as in Andamani settlement, in Ongi settlement, and even in the Shompen settlement also we are having Anganwadi centers. Through these grassroots level workers, we motivate these tribals. These are the what we used to do. Rather than this, Andaman Nicobar Islands, the population of Divyang is very less if you compare to mainland. It is around 6,500, out of which our department we are providing financial assistance at the rate of rupees 2,500 to around 3,600 beneficiaries with no income ceiling, but the Divyangjan, those who are the age of 1 month and more, are eligible to get these benefits. Moreover, that we are implementing the EDIP scheme or EDIP for getting an appliances to under EDIP schemes. We had developed a very simple format, one-page format. In that format, the applicant has to write his name, income, and in the below he has to put a signature in the right side. And in the left side of the format, it will be certified by the Tahsildar. And in the down below at the right side, the doctor will verify that certified. On the basis of that, with a single sheet, we used to issue mobility appliances. And very frequently, we used to organize disability camps in remote areas, and with the help of the Tahsildar's doctors, so as to facilitate Divyangjan to provide the facilities in the doorsteps. During the COVID period also, sir, I want to apprise you that the department, with the help of the Anganwadi workers, we had made payment to Divyangjan in the doorsteps. Moreover, the Andaman Nicobar Islands, one CRC is functioning under the direct control of NIPMET Chennai, and with the full faculties are there, and they are providing daycare facilities to the Divyangjan. Like this, we are implementing these schemes, sir, and we are having a exclusively disability cell in the directorate to facilitate the Divyangjan to get the benefits of various schemes. And I think the nodal officer I take care, and which is being monitored by a commissioner on weekly basis, and we resolve the issues from time to time. If there are any questions, you are most welcome to ask, sir. By this, I conclude my thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to the Deepest Number Foundation from Jalgaon. Mr. Yuvendra Mahajan is here. We talk about inclusive education, we talk about mainstreaming them, but mainstreaming can happen only if we have NGOs like them who are into preparing students with disabilities for answering the competitive exams. So, would request Yuvendra to talk about it.
I have only 3 minutes and 3 minutes video. Would you please play on? We work for all types of persons with disabilities for their mainstream career and higher education, whether it is administration or whether it is in private field. For Azim Premji University, there is an entrance which is not accessible, so we work on it. We work for UPSC exam. Yes, we will go for the video first.
हाथों की लकीरों में नसीब नहीं होता, क्योंकि नसीब तो उनका भी होता है जिनके हाथ नहीं होते. This girl is deprived of both hands, but she has dreams in her eyes, and this courage to envisage the dream is bestowed to her by Deepastham's Manobal. With the mission for students aged above 18 who hail from poor tribal community, specially abled and orphan in our country should get a quality education, and a society should empower them by considering as one of ourselves. With his colleagues, Professor Yajuvendra Mahajan led the milestone of Manobal and Sanjeevan projects under Deepastham Foundation. Deepastham is the first and foremost institution in India which offers all types of free residential training courses and guidance of competitive examinations like UPSC, MPSC, staff selection, banking, computer training and skill development to visually impaired, orthopedic, deaf, mute, orphan, and tribal students. By wiping out the misconception that disability is a shortcoming, Manoval added fuel to the dreams of several specially abled students. Today, many students in the Manoval initiative are living proudly by standing on their own feet. Today, self-confidence has taken the place of tears in their eyes. Rather than crying, they are fighting with the adverse situation. And this light of hope is brought in their lives by the dawn for an underprivileged youth of India. Let's come together to make this world more beautiful and also make our life more meaningful. जब दिल में था घना अंधेरा, लगता मैं हूं कि मैं नहीं हूं। कहीं से आसमां में उजाला आया, मन का पंछी गाता और गोते लगाता। अरे आसमां तो हमेशा से खुला था, मुझको मेरे होने पे यकीन आ गया, मुझको मेरे होने पे यकीन आ गया।
Thank you. So we have students from 16 states of the country. We take national entrance. We select for them for different type of mainstream education, for entrances of private education and then government competitive exams. The model is residential. I always feel that residential is the solution for overall development, because only getting job is not important. It is very important. Second thing, in short, so it is not only in the point of view of PWDs only. As you have said, you have watched, we have all types of persons with disability. Now 14 types are there, inclusive, but social inclusion is very important. So we have students who are orphans. They are above 18, and that is the only center even in our Maharashtra now that above 18 we give them mainstream career. मेरा एक बेटा है, दोनों हाथ नहीं है, आंध्र प्रदेश से है और माता पिता भी नहीं थे, ऑर्फन था। अब वो सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर है, पुणे में काम कर रहा है, अभी उसकी शादी होगी, वर्किंग वंडरफुल। तो वो है, ट्राइबल है, रूरल है, अर्बन है, ऑल अबाउट 18 मेन स्ट्रीम एक साथ रहते हैं, एक साथ पढ़ते हैं। दैट इज एक्सपेक्टेड इन द सोसाइटी। वरना सिर्फ विजुअली चैलेंज है, अलग हो जाते हैं, सिर्फ हियरिंग इम्पेयर्ड है, अलग हो जाते हैं, तो एक्सपोजर नहीं होता है। एट लास्ट, with people's participation, we are now in the process of constructing rightly we can say that national project residential in 3 acres for 320 students, because now we are in rental premises. There are 13 buildings not at all accessible, so we could not have the schemes because it is the criteria that accessible infra must be there. लेकिन हमारे पास नहीं था, हमने सोचा वो बाद में होगा, पहले बच्चों को जरूरत है, काम करेंगे। So now we have around 16 crore infrastructure. By March it would be ready. Kavita Vijit GR consultant for it, and best quality state-of-the-art infrastructure in Jalgaon and even in Pune. So we are trying our level best. Some suggestions are there. Please let us know if such students are there, because at least 5 years you have to work on a student. यदि सही में हम डेवलप इसलिए हुए, हमें एक्सपोजर मिला है, उन बच्चों को जॉब शायद मिल जाएंगे, 2500 रुपए मिल जाएगा। डेवलप कब होगा? आज सर जो बात कर रहे हैं, हमने किसी ने नहीं करनी चाहिए, सिर्फ उन्होंने बोलना चाहिए और हमने सुनना चाहिए, because he had got that kind of exposure, that kind of system that developed. So let us do it for the mainstreaming and really inclusivity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. That's amazing work from Deepak Stamba. Moving on, we'll move to Saksham. हमारे साथ श्री चंद्रशेखर जी हैं, नागपुर से राष्ट्रीय संगठन मंत्री। Saksham has got facilitation centers throughout the country and doing a great work in the disability sector for last so many years. चंद्रशेखर जी, I would like to ask you, सक्षम का जो काम है हर एक स्टेट में, उसके बारे में आप अगर मेरे को बताएंगे, और आगे की आपका क्या प्लान रहेगा सक्षम को और आगे लेने।
सर्वप्रथम इस कार्यक्रम को आयोजित करने के लिए यहाँ के सशक्तिकरण डिपार्टमेंट को मैं धन्यवाद देता हूँ, और आप सभी को भी मैं हार्दिक धन्यवाद देता हूँ। सक्षम संगठन, अभी पिछले 4 वर्षों से मैं सक्षम संगठन में पूर्णकालिक के नाते, और जो कुछ मुझे समझ में आया, यानी पहला ही इंसिडेंस मेरा ऐसा था कि हमारे एक वरिष्ठ कार्यकर्ता, उन्होंने मुझे पूछा, जब दिव्यांग शब्द नया नया ही प्रधानमंत्री जी ने शुरू किया, तो उन्होंने कहा कि दिव्य अंग कोई भी अंग दिव्य कैसे होता है, तो मैं उनका उत्तर नहीं दे पाया। और सारे देश भर में घूमते समय, जैसे आज हमारे सामने भी रोल मॉडल भी हैं, तो उन सभी दिव्यांगों को देखकर मुझे ये ध्यान में आया कि जिस किसी भी व्यक्ति के अंदर की जो दिव्यता है वो किसी न किसी अंग के माध्यम से ही प्रकट होती है। और वास्तव में इस शब्द का मूल अर्थ इसी अर्थ में हमको समझना चाहिए कि जैसे अभी हमने एक बच्चे को लिखते हुए देखा, इतनी सुंदर हैंड राइटिंग है उसकी पैर से, तो हर एक के अंदर की जो क्वालिटी है जिस भी अंग के माध्यम से वो प्रकट हो रही है, वास्तव में वो दिव्यांग है। और बहुत बार हम बोलते समय ये भी बोलते हैं, जो भी गलती से अपने आप को नॉर्मल समझते हैं उनका जो देखने का दृष्टिकोण है दिव्यांगों के प्रति, वो वास्तव में विकलांग है, वो ठीक करने की जरूरत। और इसलिए अधिक से अधिक समाज में ऐसे रोल मॉडल सामने आने चाहिए। सक्षम का मूल उद्देश्य बड़ी संस्थाएं निर्माण करना वैसा नहीं है, क्योंकि पहले से बहुत सारे लोग एनजीओ डिसेबिलिटी में काम कर रहे हैं, हमको उन सबका सहयोग भी लेना है। और सक्षम का एक बड़ा प्रोजेक्ट ये, हर एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट हेडक्वार्टर पर एक दिव्यांग सेवा केंद्र, जस्ट लाइक डीडीआरसी, ऐसा हम शुरू कर पाए, क्योंकि सोशली पावर के आधार पर समाज में काम करना, ये हमने मूल थीम हमारी। क्योंकि वास्तव में आप बेसिक विचार जो है, सरकार के ऊपर सोशल वेलफेयर की जो लायबिलिटी है इसलिए आती है कि समाज की संवेदनाएं धीरे धीरे कम होती चली जाती। वास्तव में ये सरकार का काम नहीं है। सरकार को काम क्यों करना पड़ता है? क्योंकि जैसे जैसे समाज में संवेदनहीनता आती है वैसे वैसे लायबिलिटी सरकार पर। तो धीरे धीरे इस मॉडल को चेंज करके सरकार के सिस्टम को और अधिक श्रिंक करके सोशल पावर के आधार पर दिव्यांगों में हम काम कर पाए, ये एक मूल विचार है। और इसलिए हम, राजेश जी भी हमारे बदले विराजमान है, तो मैं उनसे भी निवेदन ये करूंगा कि सरकारी योजनाओं को ज्यादा से ज्यादा सामाजिक हाथों में देकर के जो लोग डिसेबिलिटी में अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं उनके माध्यम से मॉनिटरिंग का काम सरकार करे, लोग इंप्लीमेंट का काम अधिक से अधिक कर पाए आवश्यक। तो मैं निवेदन ये कर रहा था कि सभी डिस्ट्रिक्ट हेडक्वार्टर पर दिव्यांग सेवा केंद्र की हमारी योजना है, और अभी लगभग 100+ ऐसे दिव्यांग सेवा केंद्र सारे देश भर में चल रहे हैं। यानी सरकारी स्कीम्स, यूडीआईडी कार्ड, और जो कुछ भी प्रॉब्लम्स है दिव्यांगों की उसको जो समाधान कर सकते हैं उस एजेंसी के साथ कनेक्ट करके उनका समाधान, जस्ट लाइक एक फैसिलिटी सेंटर जैसा। और धीरे धीरे हमारी योजना है कि मल्टी स्पेशलिटी दिव्यांग सेवा केंद्र बने, जहां एक ही स्थान पर सभी प्रकार की सुविधाएं हमको दें। ऐसे कुछ रोल मॉडल धीरे धीरे खड़े करने का प्रयास कर रहे हैं। तो दिव्यांग सेवा केंद्र और उसके माध्यम से लोकल जितने भी एनजीओ, डॉक्टर्स, थेरेपिस्ट, जो कुछ भी लोग, स्पेशल एजुकेटर जो काम कर रहे हैं उन सबको जोड़ करके एक बड़ी ताकत खड़ी करना। और सबसे बड़ा काम यह है कि धीरे धीरे एम्पावरमेंट की जो बात है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट, और उनको अधिक से अधिक रोजगार के साथ जोड़, जो उनको स्थायी समाधान की ओर ले जाएगा। ऐसा एक सक्षम संगठन का प्रयास है, इसमें आप सबका सहयोग, आशीर्वाद की आवश्यकता। धन्यवाद।
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। We will move on to the next महात्मा गांधी सेवा संस्था जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा। आई थिंक वी हैव अ प्रेजेंटेशन टू दे। दे हैव डन अ वंडरफुल हाउस टू हाउस सर्वे, वी जस्ट रन थ्रू इट।
नमस्कार। 3-4 मिनट हम वाइंड अप कर रहे हैं, लेकिन ये इनोवेटिव है। अभी हमारी कविता जी ने कहा कि डेटा, हमारे पास डेटा ही नहीं है, तो मास्टर प्लान बनाने के लिए डेटा बहुत जरूरी होता है। सारे यही बात हमने समझ के महाराष्ट्र में एक अकोला डिस्ट्रिक्ट हमने लिया और वहाँ होम टू होम सर्वे थ्रू मोबाइल आशा वर्कर्स के सहयोग से ये प्रेजेंटेशन आपने एक 5 मिनट के अंदर हम दिखाएंगे, लेकिन ये होना जरूरी है। हमारे पास ऑलरेडी 10 DDRCs है, गोवा का भी DDRC हमारे पास है। सर्वे, रिसर्च एंड डिस्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन प्लान, ये हमारी स्पेशलिटी है। इसको आगे ले जाइए प्लीज। हमें नेक्स्ट ये सारे कलेक्टर, CO, सोशल वेलफेयर ऑफिसर एंड पेरेंट मिनिस्टर वगैरह उनके लिए हमें ये प्लीज को मिली हुई ये जो इनोवेट प्रोग्राम हुआ उसका ये क्या सरकारी जो हमें अग्रवाल, उनको मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा।
थैंक यू। बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कि आपको जो सेंसस है उसके हिसाब से डिसेबिलिटी रेट है 2011 में, उसके बाद से जो चेंजेस आए डिसेबिलिटी नंबर्स में, तो उसके बारे में जो अवेलेबल नहीं हो रही, तो हमने वहाँ एक मॉडल प्रोजेक्ट सजेस्ट, हम होम टू होम सर्वे करते हैं प्रकार की डिसेबिलिटी, तो हम उसका मोर देन 100 डेटा पॉइंट हमने कवर किए जो WHO गाइडलाइन, सोशल के बाद इकोनॉमिकल, स्पेस डेवलपमेंट कवर चला। अकोला डिस्ट्रिक्ट में 10,000 लोगों के दिव्यांग प्रमाण पत्र था और हमने सर्वे करने 45,000 दिव्यांग लोगों को आइडेंटिफाई किया। तो मोर देन 50,000 लोगों को UDID भी हमने उस 2 से 3 महीने के अंदर प्रदान किया, जैसे अर्ली डिटेक्शन और कंप्लीट इंक्लूजन, ये बेसिस में वो क्वेश्चन बनाया हुआ और रिलेटेड कवर। इस बारे में जो सबसे मेन इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है वो ये था कि दिव्यांग लोगों को सेंटर पोजीशन में हमें रखना हर मिनिस्ट्री। तो आजकल जो टेंडेंसी है कि सोशल डिपार्टमेंट इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दिव्यांग, हमारा कहना है जो एजुकेशन भी रिस्पॉन्सिबल है। तो उस हिसाब से हमने एक क्वेश्चन बनाया। आज अगर हम इन 100 डेटा पॉइंट्स को अलग अलग इससे फिल्टर करते हैं तो मोर देन हमारे पास 200-300 पॉइंट्स ऐसे आ सकते हैं जिसमें क्या पॉलिसीज बनाते हैं केयर गिविंग तक। हमने उस पर एनालाइज किया और उस ब्लॉक वाइज डिसेबिलिटी रिपोर्ट है, डिसेबिलिटी कौन से ब्लॉक के अंदर है, एक जेंडर वाइज है, 18 थर्ड जेंडर के भी लोग हैं जो डिसेबल है इसके अंदर रिपोर्टिंग है, कौन से PSC में कितने दिव्यांग है। इन PSC को प्राइमरी केयर सेंटर जा रहा है जहाँ दिव्यांग आकर अपना ट्रीटमेंट बोलिए अपनी क्वेरीज रेज कर सकते हैं। तो डिसेबिलिटीज है अलग अलग, इसमें आप देखेंगे तो जो हियरिंग है सब, और हमने जो डेटा पॉइंट्स बनाए हैं वो स्टडी करके ऐसे बनाए कि आज हम बोल सकते हैं 550 बच्चे ऐसे हैं जो 1 से 10 साल की उम्र में हैं, जिन्हें अगर आप कुछ असिस्टिव सर्जरीज बोलिए, असिस्टमेंट बोलिए, तो वो करके वो देख सकते हैं और मेन स्ट्रीम में आ सकते हैं। उसके बाद में 184 ऐसे हैं जिन्हें अगर आप हियरिंग एड अगर दे तो वो मेन स्ट्रीमिंग में आ सकते हैं। इतना डिटेल रिपोर्ट हुआ है। एज वाइज है, वर्किंग का जो एज है 20 से बोलिए 60 मेजॉरिटी डिसेबल लोग हैं, अगर इन्हें हम कुछ एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज दे सकते हैं तो खुद के पैरों पर खड़े हो सकते हैं।
मैं देता हूँ यहाँ पे, जैसे अनुसूचित जाति में SC में 29% निकले हैं। जब हम डिस्ट्रिक्ट एक्शन प्लान के लिए बैठे तो उन्होंने कहा ये घरकुल वाला एक स्कीम है जिला परिषद, उन्होंने झट बोल दिया कि 300 लोगों को, हम जो 300 लोग निकले थे उनके लिए हम हर साल 100 करके 3 साल में ये सारों को घरकुल दे देंगे, तो वो एक्शन प्लान में ले लिया है।
ये पॉइंट सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है जहाँ हमें पता चलता है कि 82 ऐसे घर है जहाँ 4 दिव्यांग, 432 ऐसे घर है जहाँ एक ही घर में 400 से ज्यादा दिव्यांग है। और जब हम डेटा फिल्टर आउट करते हैं तो हमें पता चलता है कि ये जो घर है 82 में दिव्यांग लोगों का पर मंथ का जो इनकम है वो 5,000 से भी कम है, और जो दिव्यांग पर्सन है 18+ अब उसके ऊपर पूरा घर डिपेंडेंट है। इस तरीके के 5-6 फिल्टर हम जब लगाते हैं तो हमें पता चलता है कि किसे प्रायोरिटी देनी है और किसे आगे किस तरीके की सुविधा देनी है। ये सोशल इंक्लूजन के हिसाब से भी इंक्लूड किया है। हम इन लोगों को हेल्प काउंसलिंग करते हैं मैरिड और पोस्ट मैरिज। जैसे आप देख सकते हो कि ग्रेजुएशन 600 लोगों का हुआ है और पोस्ट ग्रेजुएशन 285 लोगों का हुआ है। इसमें के जो 600 है इसमें से मोर देन 100 लोगों को हमने थ्रू वहाँ की MITC और वहाँ की लोकल जो बॉडीज है उनको हमने जॉब भी दिलवाया थ्रू जॉब फेयर। ये अर्ली इंटरवेंशन के लिए, डिग्री के लिए हम इसमें मंथली इनकम है, जैसे आप देख सकते 2,000 से 5,000 रुपये महीना कमाने वाले लोग 9,000 है, और इसमें से काफी लोग ऐसे हैं जिनके घर पे 3 से ज्यादा दिव्यांग लोग हैं। अंत्योदय लोगों को रेगुलर हॉस्पिटल में यहाँ पे ऐसा 1,500 बच्चे ऐसे हैं जो एलिजिबल है स्कॉलरशिप के लिए, लेकिन उनको स्कॉलरशिप ये डेटा अलग। और कुछ एक इमोशनल पार्ट में बताना चाहता हूँ, हमने 8,000 में से 2,500 महिलाएं थी जो दिव्यांग थी समाज के अंदर। महिलाओं को एडिशनल होने के बावजूद भी उन्होंने काफी अच्छा एजुकेशन लिया है। तो अगर हम वो सुविधा दे सकते जो है वो आशा वर्कर के हमने मतलब थ्रू किया था। आशा वर्कर के पास मोबाइल नहीं था तो वो इतने सेंसिटाइज लोग वहाँ के हो गए ग्राउंड लेवल कि उन्होंने भाड़े से मोबाइल लिया और वो कंप्लीट किया है। तो इस लेवल का सेंसिटाइजेशन हम ग्राउंड लेवल पहुँचा।
थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Actually, sorry, because of the lack of time, we have to wind it up. Amazing work that you guys are doing. We will end this session here.
I am very happy that Jalgram and let us do one thing together. Survey. So we have 30 students. These are बच्चों की टीम started. Cover every block. और उसमें एक एग्जाम में 100 क्वेश्चन करना है। वो करके पूरे देश में
I think this kind of data. Sir, ऐसे
So we have UDI data of 85 lakhs. So we are cleaning it up, anonymize it, village wise में compulsory नहीं है तो लोग 40% village. Otherwise we have subdivision. So subdivision wise of the anonymized data, grouping, age wise grouping करके, disability wise. I plan to release it halfway by bit. That will be very useful for research. Yes, that will be.
Yeah, we are just starting with Goa, but I think this should be done in every district of the country. Without data, we can't, as Kavita said, the data is the most important thing and it's the basis from where we can start. Well, thank you so much, the department, the secretary sir here, for giving the opportunity to the NGOs. I think there are thousands of NGOs who are doing huge services, and I think they represent these NGOs who are not here today. So thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all the panelists of this third and the final discussion of this 2-day sensitization workshop. May I now humbly request respected Secretary, Department of Empowerment of Persons with Disability, Sri Rajesh Agrawal sir, to kindly give away the closing remarks of this workshop.
I have intervened enough during the sessions, so thanks to Goa government and Pavaskar sir especially for organizing this wonderful Purple Fest and giving us all a chance to come together along with the states. And as your CM said, कि बाकी कोई राज्य सामने नहीं आता तो गोवा तैयार है. ये पर्पल फेस्ट हर साल होना है. तो my request to all state officials present here is कि when we go back, talk to your state governments in next 2 months, tell us if any state government is ready, and definitely from next year we will become, I believe, at least 50% financial partner with the state government to make sure this Purple Fest idea goes forward. Thank you so much and best wishes to everyone.
I think many states can come forward now. The Secretary Saab has said they'll be the partners in organizing Purple Fest in the future. Haryana too. Wow, great. We have a very interesting employment conclave happening today here at the same hall. There are people from Amazon, Google who are coming down, who will be interacting with the delegates from the Chamber of Commerce and Industries. So if any of the state commissioners would like to be part of it, you are most welcome, because it's going to be a very interesting discussions, and we have not mainstreaming. Ultimately, we want our persons with disabilities to be part of the whole thing. So in case you are interested, please stay back. We are having this, we'll start here at 7 p.m. It will be inaugurated by Honorable CM and we will take it forward. Enable in India is doing the whole curation of this program, and we have very senior officials from Amazon and Google will be down here today in the same place. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I request all the delegation. So you all could come earlier, you will be able to see solutions and assistive solutions, etc. You're please welcome for it, please. Thank you so much, ma'am and sir. I request all the delegates to please be seated for 5 more minutes, please. We have a small closing ceremony. I would again like to invite SCD Goa, Shri Guru Prasad Pavaskar sir, to kindly felicitate our Secretary sir, Rajesh Agrawal, please. A big round of applause. Thank you, sir. I would now invite our Joint Secretary, sir, Sri Rajiv Sharma, sir, on the dais, and would request the SCD Goa, sir, to kindly felicitate our Joint Secretary, sir, please. Thank you, sir. I now request the Joint Secretary and Finance Advisor, Sri Sanjay Pade, sir, to kindly come onto the dais. Thank you, sir. I now invite Deputy Director General, BPWD, Sri Kishore B. Silvare, sir, on the dais. Thank you, sir. And on behalf of the Office of CCPD, may I now invite Sri Nrityunjay Jha, sir, to kindly
receive the memento from SCD Goa, Sri Guru Prasad Pavaskar sir. Sri Mrityunjay Jha sir receiving the memento on behalf of the Office of CCTV. Thank you so much, sir. I would again like to request Deputy Secretary DPWD and Deputy CCPD, Sri Mrityunjay Jha sir, to kindly deliver the vote of thanks, please.
Just 2 more minutes, please. So I take this opportunity for extending the vote of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank in absentia our Honorable Minister, Social Justice and Empowerment, Dr. Virendra Kumar ji, who was kind enough to take time out of his busy schedule and make it here and guide us. I extend my warmest thanks to the Social Welfare Minister, Government of Goa, Sri Subhas Desai ji, who has been instrumental for organizing this Purple Fest and who basically initiated this workshop also in discussion with our minister. The Chief Minister Goa could not come, but he was there in Purple Fest with full zeal, and I extend my heartfelt thanks to the Chief Minister Goa also for leading from front for this marvelous Purple Fest, which gave us opportunity to see the basically many aspects which are beyond our basically which you could not basically thought of many new things. I extend my thanks to Minister from Government of UP who was here, Sri Narendra Kashyap ji, and who is not here now, but he was here and he came to this workshop. So I am extremely thankful to him. I am extremely thankful to our Secretary sir, who has been Sri Rajesh Agarwal ji, who has been a guiding force for us. And as soon as the I think Pavaskar ji with his minister Sri Subhas Desai ji met Secretary sir, he immediately instructed our office, that Office of Chief Commissioner, that this workshop has to be organized, and we followed him, and that is why we are here. I extend my thanks to our Joint Secretary Sri Rajiv Sharma ji, not only for coming here but also moderating the session yesterday. I extend my thanks to our Joint Secretary in Financial Advisor Sri Sanjay Pandey ji. We had 2 such workshops before this, many of you know, and this is the first workshop sir could make it, and I am extremely thankful to you sir, just not only for attending but actively participating, and I hope that we will be getting your guidance and support in future also. I am extremely thankful to DDG Sri Surwade sir, who basically has been since beginning involved in this workshop, and you all know all the letters were issued under his signature and all the follow-ups he had. I am especially thankful to Sri Arneja ji, Narendra Arneja ji, who is from NIC, and I think we, as Secretary sir mentioned, we have a lot of things to do together. Of course, I am extremely thankful to all the state commissioners and the state officials, without whom this workshop would not have been possible. And I know that some of you wanted a stay for 1 more day, but please, you can understand, I just said no to everybody, and we could manage up to 8 morning because of these constraints. Though many of us requested for early arrival, so we allowed that. So if someone still may have got some inconvenience, I am extremely sorry on behalf of my organization and on behalf of all my colleagues. This is the first workshop in the series of the 3 workshops we had recently, where we invited some of the NGOs. Earlier only it used to be state officials, and this was also the idea of our Secretary sir, that we must involve people who are actually on the ground, actually working. And I think I don't need to mention how active and how useful it has been to be in this workshop along with the very big organizations and people who are really on the ground. Enable India, Ms. Shanti Raghavan, then Deep Aslam Foundation, Mr. Mahajan, then I think Design Bridge, Ms. Kavita, then Amar Seva Sangam, Sri R. Shankar Ramanji, Mahatma Gandhi Seva Sansthan, then Saksham. So all these 7-8 organizations have been here, and for that I am extremely thankful to Pavaskar ji also, who was able to manage it. Some of them are basically are not accommodated here, they have been accommodated elsewhere. I am extremely thankful to my colleagues in the department, all my colleagues who have been basically who have been able to come here and supported me and actively participated. I extend my thanks to Alimco, who has Alimco and all the officials from Alimco who have put up a very good stall in the Purple Fest, and Honorable Chief Minister visited that stall yesterday evening. I was there, and I think that will further basically bring forth and expand their activities. And I am also thankful to our National Institutes representatives who also had a stall there. I am extremely thankful to Guru Pavaskar ji because this workshop is basically because of his initiative, and not only this, actually he has been supportive of organizing all the things, because we were in Delhi. So I said, sir, if this workshop has to happen, you have to find out place. So he chose this place because of the proximity with the Purple Fest, and we can appreciate how convenient it has been. So I am extremely thankful to Pavaskar ji and all his team members, Ratna and all those people who have all been organizing vehicles and other things for this workshop. I am thankful to this hotel, Vivanta, and his team, Mr. Fernandez, and all the technical people, the boy who is standing there. They all have been bearing with me for the last 3-4 days. Who is checking in, who is checking out, how many rooms are there. I made it a point that no room goes without show off, because and to large extent I was able to manage it. Of course, some officers did not inform in time, so we had some no show off, but broadly we could manage it within the estimates which we had indicated. And then I am extremely thankful to all my colleagues in the office of CCPD who have worked very hard to make this successful. I am especially thankful to Anupma Khamna, who has been comparing this, and I must tell you, she is not a professional anchor. She is a rehabilitation official. She is a senior occupational therapist in one of our organizations, and because of her this talent, we have been bothering her to go and do this comparing wherever we do this workshop. And with the hope that we will, as I mentioned in the last session, that the essence of such deliberation is not the answers we get. I would like to repeat, but the questions which we carry with us. And I think we all must be carrying with us some questions to which we would be trying to get solutions. And that is how life goes on. So with the hope that we will meet once again, हिंदी में बोलूंगा, फिर मिलेंगे और दिव्यांग जनों के सशक्तिकरण के लिए साथ चलेंगे. I wish you all a very pleasant stay here in Goa and a very safe and pleasant journey back. Thank you very much.